next match. And while we look at these bans and picks, Complexity actually is the former KGB team. There was a KGB team. They got picked up by Complexity. This is a new KGB team. So you can say it's new versus old KGB if they win this, but they have to get through Aware Academy first. And look at that, right off the bat, banning Flash. Seems like he's been banned quite a lot lately.
Yeah, I mean, Flash, on top of the following Aquaman ban, we saw in the last match how devilish Aquaman was in terms of his damage and just mobility around the whole map. So I'm not surprised to see both of those go out, but I am surprised to see KGB Pseudo picking up Catwoman Prime. That'll be pretty interesting.
Yeah, that early in the draft. I mean, Catwoman Prime was one of the top draft picks before the patch, but I know some people have said, well, without having to crit on the Whip Strike anymore, maybe she's not quite as strong a champion. Pseudo still must love Catwoman. I know Pseudo loves playing Joker, but of course, Joker is picked by Aware Academy. Joker is always going to be one of those top priority picks.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Nightbat and Joker kind of be those high priority picks, and along with the Flash, but he just keeps getting banned.
Yeah, if you're the highest priority pick, that means you get banned.
Right.
It's like number 3 and 4.
Take the next two.
Yeah, that's the way bans work. Are we going to see Shazam? Okay, no. Chow's he's just messing with. He keeps switching. I want to see some Rob. Oh, Superman is playing mind games.
Just give us one of them.
But you know what? We are seeing Batman Prime, which is going to be neat. We don't get to see him super often. In fact, there's 3 Batmans in the game. How many Batmans are there in the game of Infinite Crisis? Well, 3 right now. And they're all in this game.
All in this one game. So we can see Nightbat, Gasbat, and Batman Prime. 2 different sides, and they can fight against each other.
You know what I'm actually really shocked by? Zatanna didn't get picked until just now. That's actually kind of shocking to me.
I'm looking at the team lineups, and I'm trying to figure out maybe why they wanted to wait it out. And I think maybe KGB was hoping that Aware would have picked it themselves. Maybe they had a counter to it.
Yeah, I mean, well, I would think Aware would pick Zatanna just because of her ultimate being such a counter to Nightbat's ultimate.
Yeah, it's a perfect pick, but instead they choose to go with the Arcane Green Lantern and deny the Black. His ultimate is just so much shield, temporary health to cover your carries, and he'll be able to cover Saint Rev, Ratha, or Advi on all those carry champions.
This is actually, what's going to be crazy though? This Atomic Poison Ivy Green Arrow combo, we saw that in the first game from KGO.
So brutal.
And it was absolutely brutal. I don't like, so let's say, let's say for instance it's going to be Saint Rev and Cypher at the bottom lane against Droog and Jokas. What are they going to do? I mean, what is Arcane Green Lantern going to do to stop the roots of Atomic Poison Ivy? If he ever comes in to hit, Green Arrow is just going to be unloading on him.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be pretty tough. They're going to need to try and poke sustain a little bit, but it's tough for them to do that against a Green Arrow who can get his ultimate at level 1, and that ultimate that Green Arrow has, it helps his poke damage. So it's going to be tough.
Yeah, and one of the weaknesses of his ultimate is you can see him charging it up.
Right.
And then he's going to launch it. You can try to get ready to juke and jive and dodge. And you're like, yeah, I can dodge it. But then the Atomic Poison Ivy's like, no. No, you can't. There's roots grabbing you from the ground, and then the arrow is going to strike you dead square. That's going to be pretty brutal. Now, the Joker and Star Sapphire in late-game team fights for Rare Academy could be big players because they both have such, insane power damage, crowd control, area of effect abilities that if KGB isn't careful, they could just get blasted down in a second.
Yeah, the AoE combo coming from both of them is pretty real.
So let's see how these lanes kind of work down. Wait, I just thought of something. They're going to jungle Batman.
Right.
Because, Aware Academy is going to jungle Batman. I haven't seen Batman in a jungle for a while now. If you look at him, he's clearly dressed to go into the urban jungle. He's all in dark. He's not using Arkham White costume, so he's definitely set up to blend in with the urban environment. I think that's why he's going to jungle, right?
I think that's the actually key determination that they had there is I can just cover myself in black gear and I'll just hide, behind these walls. Yeah,
it's a really solid strategy. Now, the one reason why it's shocking me a little bit that they're going to have Batman in the jungle is because when you look at your jungler, you're thinking, how strong is their gank? And Batman, his slow was buffed. So maybe I'm overlooking that because in the last patch, his slow from his Q is at 50% slow now. We're used to scale up to that at high level, but not early on.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe he is going to be doing really well, but compared to like a Nightbat whose ultimate just stops someone cold in their feet for 2 seconds, I have a feeling that KGB is definitely going to have the stronger ganks in this game. And wow, they're all...
Yeah, I'm going to make a prediction here and go on a limb and say that Fresh Snow on Batman is going to try to dive the back line, and it's not going to end up working out for them in team fights late game. Just Zatanna's Rabbit plus the knockdown that Pseudo has on Catwoman Prime, it's going to be rough for Batman to get to the back.
Yeah, Batman's one of those champions who he can actually do really well one-on-one against almost anyone because his martial arts just dishes out a lot of damage and he can stick to people pretty well. But if he, let's say he dives in on Green Arrow can just keep cutting back away from him, and then one root from Poison Ivy, and Batman loses his ability to stick on to the Green Arrow. So I don't know. We'll have to see how that works out. I'm really curious to see how that plays out. Let's talk about this mid lane here. Star Sapphire versus Catwoman. I'm a little worried for Star Sapphire. What do you think? Yeah,
she's going to need to stay in the back and just kind of get those last hits with her crystal and try and not take as much damage as possible. I mean, you're going to see Catwoman just farming up and getting her passive, which is, you know, that cat burglar gets her those extra coins when she does damage with her abilities, and we see it whipping out. So she's going to be able to build up those credits pretty quickly against Star Sapphire, and it's not bad for Star Sapphire because she just hangs out at the turret. She'll be able to get the last hits pretty easily. Her wave clear is pretty good.
Well, I mean, we can see that the whip is already starting to take effect. You see Catwoman's lost almost no hit points yet. Star Sapphire is already at half life, and it's only going to get worse. Now there's level 2, so Catwoman can start comboing her abilities. Oh my, is Rathison about to just go down this early?
I think he was trying to invulnerability bait right there and try and burst him down as quickly as possible, but Pseudo didn't fall for it. He's just saying, you know, whatever, I'll let you do what you want, and I'll force you to go back to base. I'm not going to all in you here because I'm not going to take any risks.
There's no need. Catwoman can just keep poking, and Star Sapphire is going to be forced back, at least at the rate that trades have been going to so far. There's another whip strike. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be brutal. Let's look somewhere else. I don't want to see Star Sapphire getting beat up too much anymore. Joker versus Zatanna over here. This one, I actually think Zatanna has edge early on because she can cast her abilities over drones, whereas Joker's Mr. Punchy gets stopped by drones. But then later on, you know, once Mr. Punchy gets leveled up, it's so scary.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be probably a bit of a slow lane, to be honest. We'll see them trying to dish out as much damage as possible to each other, but just building up the credits for now and not taking any chances.
Ooh, Star Sapphire!
Oh, this isn't enough. Batman's gonna try and come in and help, but it's...
Well, he's there.
It's not
Batman.
enough.
Batman! He just kind of looked at her, watched her die, and then he's wandering off back into the jungle, so not too much help from Batman. Fresh Snow's like, how you doing, Star Sapphire? Oh, you're dead. I guess I'll go back in the jungle now.
I think I saw him buy the second Marauder knife as Star Sapphire got caught out. He was at the turret.
He was busy loading up his tool belt and getting his equipment. There's that ultimate from Green Arrow. Oh, it actually tagged Saint Rev. I thought that was gonna miss, but man, you don't even need any roots from Droog to land those skills.
Yeah, I mean they're just pushing this in because that's what Atomic Poison Ivy wants to do. They can get away from ganks pretty easily with her wall slow. And they have a root just in case anything goes bad.
You know, it's one of those lanes where I've always talked to people about Arcane Green Lantern, and a lot of really good players say Arcane Green Lantern is so great because he can really protect your carries in the late game. If you have, you know, a really fed marksman, really fed blaster, he's getting focused down. Green Lantern's ultimate is great. You get right on top of him, then he can shackle everyone. And it sounds great, but against a Tom Poison Ivy, she might not have quite the same late game presence, but her early game, I think she has stronger harassment. Look at that! Look at the roots, and Green Arrow's gonna follow that one up, and Arcane Green Lantern almost goes down. And yeah, this combo's so strong in the lane.
Yeah, it's like you were saying. Arcane Green Lantern really needs to be level 6 in order to, you know, use his protect the carry kind of thing, and his early lane is just a little bit rough.
We'll see if he can make it work. Looking at credits, they're already down by over 1,000. Of course, part of that is from the kill and the assist, but also it's just, at least at the bottom lane, they've been denied all these credit opportunities. And every time they're forced back, Green Arrow just unloads on them.
Yeah, the armor penetration from Green Arrow, as you can see, he has that constantly. When he procs one of his skills, he gets the bonus on the next hit, and then passively he gets an overall bonus consistently, and we can see the yellow arrows, that's the armor penetration. And he's using that in combo with his ultimate because his ultimate takes the next skill that he used on top of his ultimate damage. So.
Well, look at this. I thought Star Sapphire was getting kind of worked over. We look back to the lane as Catwoman pushed back with very little life now. She's leveled. Uh-oh. Here comes Game Slave. Looking into. He just wanted some bats around. He says, you know what? I can make bats appear on the map. What can you do? Star Sapphire's like, I can summon a Predator and beat up your Catwoman.
Yeah, this is exactly what Star Sapphire should have done from the start, is just shove the lane in as much as you can, because when Catwoman gets an advantage on you, it gets pretty rough, and it allows for the jungle to, catch you out in that certain spot.
This is just, this is going back and forth here because, Star Sapphire was getting beat up, but then she was pushed back. The bottom lane, though, is not going back and forth. The bottom lane, we unfortunately missed it. St. Rev just got kind of clobbered there, and it's that combination of Green Arrow's damage, and it's even more so is his range. Because if Atomic Poison Ivy can, this could be very uncomfortable for our King Green Lantern. Green Arrow playing a little bit safe there, actually. Didn't want to go up and got caught between the two enemy champions, so playing a little solid there. But what he can do is he can just shoot his normal attacks while the target is rooted, and then right when the target gets out of range, he loads up that ultimate, or he can load it up as an initiation. Oh, St. Rev barely gets out of that one in time.
Yeah, the mobility on Green Arrow, along with his other skills, is just, they're really potent, and if you use it the right way, you get a huge benefit.
Catwoman looks like every time I look at this lane, someone else is about to die. First was Star Sapphire, then it was Catwoman, now it's Star Sapphire again. It seems like this is a really volatile lane, as both champions can potentially do a ton of damage. If Star Sapphire lands, she's done for, isn't she? Oh no!
Oh,
here comes Fresh Snow.
Take the kill. I think Star Sapphire just needs to back out here and just get as far out as possible.
Oh, man. Classic
Nightbat's
DC
coming
right here.
up though. Smart on Fresh Snow to just get his way out of there before Bot came up.
I love the lines from Catwoman. Sorry, I had to just stop and listen to the lines because the audio in this game is so great there. But it's interesting. Batman backing away from a Catwoman challenge, of course, knowing that there was, others nearby to help. Meanwhile, this lane, you said it was going to be slow earlier on. Let's take a look at the credits. We still have Chow sitting around 2,100. Advi sitting around 2,100. It's pretty much both of them just giving and taking, mostly just farming the lane, being fairly passive, although we do have, okay, he's going to go for the EMP.
This is the perfect time to go for an EMP. The lane is pushed. Zatanna is relatively low in terms of will, so you want to gain the advantage as much as you can, and this is where you gain the advantage. You grab an EMP early.
And for those of you guys who aren't as familiar with Infinite Crisis, one of the coolest things about it is these deployable items that you can get from taking out certain jungle camps, like that EMP drop at the top. What it does is, once you take it out, back of your base, you can pick up the EMP drop, and you can later utilize that to temporarily disable a turret and or drones.
Yeah, and it looks like KGB had grabbed the first one initially, and probably going to take advantage of that a little bit later on.
Well, let me ask you a question. Let's say you're St. Rev and Cypher. What do you do to turn around the way this bottom lane is going? Do you have to rotate lanes? Do you scream for help from Fresh Snow?
Yeah, I mean, you really need a gank, and you need more than a gank because Batman's not going to be able to keep them both down. You need Star Sapphire to hit level 6, and then roam bot along with Batman.
What about level 7?
Level 7 works too, that's even better. Her Predator is up, so they can probably get a double kill on this, but Fresh Snow is really low here.
Fresh Snow goes down, unfortunately. That means there's no Batman damage. The Predator's still going crazy. Can't you get Catwoman? Oh,
Atomic Poison Ivy's coming in for the root, and Nightbat secures the kill.
This little guy in his skeletal claws. Game Slave was at the right place at the right time there. He knew his assistance may have been needed, and without his ultimate, Star Sapphire would have run amok with her ultimate, because if she's free to maneuver around and send a Predator to whatever target she wants to take out, it is an insanely deadly ultimate. But one of the main counters is you just kill her, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you kill her, the Predator disappears and it's not much of a threat.
Yeah, you try to do that, but on top of that, the Predator is is just doing damage on top of you already, and she's just using the crystal repeatedly on top of herself. So it's not as easy as we say it might be, or it might look to be, because she can bait you out with that invulnerability like we see him trying to do.
Joke is being sneaky, hiding the stealth pad. You know, one thing that's really nice to do with Green Arrow is you can charge your ultimate while you're in the stealth pad, and then you can launch it before your opponent's already racked. And there goes the roots, making ultimate land easily. A couple hits, and look how fast ST Rev went down there. Saint Rev just in a world of pain. And, you know, Arcane Green Answering doesn't really have a good way to heal his teammates. Right? I mean, he did get the heal wave stolen power, so that can help him a bit, and his passive can heal a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you're damaged too much, you can't actually get off basic attacks anymore. Oh, another great hit from the arrow with that ultimate. Wow.
Yeah, another cool thing about Green Arrow is he can actually tumble mid-ultimate charge. So he can be charging this, tumble through, and then follow up with the ultimate. So you can get a little bit further range on top of that.
So if you're charged up to ultimate in ballistic stance, right? Yep. And then you tumble, will the ultimate still be in ballistic stance because that's how it was when you started charging it?
No, it'll actually switch. It depends on when you fire it off.
So not when you start it, but when you actually release it.
So
okay.
You can be, you know, mid-charging and then have an oh crap moment because somebody's about to gank, and
you
then
tumble
backwards away, and then on top of that fire it off to slow them.
And then your next basic attack slows them again.
Right, exactly.
Ooh. I think Green Arrow might have had a kill there. Didn't miss that ballistic ultimate.
Yeah, the thing about Green Arrow, though, is if you keep doing these combos, you run out of will really quickly, and then that's when the enemy decides they want to trade with you. And we can see the bat stream going up top. Is this going to hit anyone all the way in the top lane? Might try and pick off Catwoman Prime. Oh, it's not enough.
Yeah, she saw that one coming literally the whole map away, so plenty of time to get out of the range of that one. But they're going to turn on Star Sapphire.
The damage from Catwoman's hits are just too good, and the invulnerability.
Oh, and it's the speed pickup. That's going to help her out a bit. You know, Star Sapphire did a lot of damage to Pseudo, though. Anytime she has that Predator up, it's almost like you're fighting two people.
Yeah.
I think that ultimate is really fun, too, because you actually control the Predator relatively independently. You don't actually control its exact movement speed, tell who to attack and who to go for, and you can actually use your Q to move around on the map as well. Now, in the middle, do we miss something crazy? Oh no, Star Sapphire went up top.
Right, they try to roam top, and you know we talked about the Zatanna Joker lane being a little bit mixed in terms of, you know, if they would actually fight each other or not, because they can so easily get away. And then it looked like the mid lane has just decided to roam up there and try and get something done.
I mean, at this point, KGB 7 kills to 0. They were up by 50%. They have 50% more credits than Aware Academy. They can kind of go wherever they want in this boss any lane they want to. At what point do they go for a Raider, or they go for, I guess, they want to make sure to get every EMP from here on out to secure basically turret kills as well, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if they keep securing the EMPs, it'll stop Aware from, you know, getting any advantage. And like you just talked about, the Raider is a really good thing to have every time it comes up. And you want to take advantage of those because it gives you those, you know, global experience and credits.
Let's see, Game Save is going to go, he wanted to EMP, but then he realized, Batman and Joker teaming up for once.
Yeah, Zatanna's a little low on will, and it's more safe for Joker to go in, even though he's low on health, because he can just keep pumping out the damage. Batman's just trying to catch up, and Zatanna uses her dash and dazzle to like get herself out of there and healed up.
Batman got dazzled there, but the drone lane's going to be pushed. Did they have enough time to take this EMP?
They should be able to get the EMP.
There's no ultimate for Game Slave.
He has Detonate, though. He can steal this, and it's not hard for Nightbat to steal this. He does use Detonate. Was it his, or was it... Oh, no, it was Batman's.
Yeah, because they got the bottom one, so both teams have one of them now.
So Freshino did use his Detonate just in time before Nightbat could squeeze in there.
He knew Nightbat was looking for that, you know, so he wanted the time to just right. Oh, Catwoman get chomped on by a Predator. Looks like she went hard in on Rathazin, but the ultimate from Cypher kept Star Sapphire alive just long enough to force Catwoman out of the picture. But, ooh, Batman on Catwoman action. Classic DC, but Batman again retreats. Oh, now he's rooted down. A Predator charges in, keeps Catwoman at bay. That's going to be enough to keep Fresh Snow alive so he can escape. Or is he? Game Slave. No ultimate up on Game Slave. Just makes his presence known.
Yeah, they're just trying to play it safe here, and this is the perfect time for St. Rev to just stay away and try and fire him up as quickly as possible. And taking those extra hits is not going to do him well for getting these this wave clear.
One thing that you do not want to do is get hit without doing any damage in return. And against the way Jokas has been playing, he's been so on top of using the ultimate to zone people out. He's been switching his stances very well. And at this point, he has a nice amount of credits. In fact, he's about 1,200 more credits higher than St. Rev, which means he just has better items, and that's going to give him much better trade. So St. Rev needs some outside X factor in order to go toe-to-toe with Jokas right now.
Yeah, and with both of the Arcane Green Lantern going to the mid lane and Star Sapphire backing, KGB can pick up that Raider pretty quickly. And they should be able to get this bot tower, even though
fresh snow!
Everyone from Aware is going to be down.
Oh, that snow is not fresh there. He's going down. Star Sapphire does a lot of burst damage, though. Takes out Game Slave. She's still at full life, throwing that Predator around. And you know what? Droog's got to be careful. Throws into wall to ensure his team's retreat, but I think this is the first time in the game they look like Aware Academy really looked like they had a great fight. They had great coordination. And there was 4 from KGB, but Aware still traded evenly, even being down so many credits.
Yeah, it was a good initiation on Batman there on Aware to jump on that API and deal as much damage as possible before she could pull off her sequence of the Force. Oh, the rabbit coming out from Joker, and Nightbat has... No, he doesn't have his ultimate up, but they can slow him. Joker pops out his ultimate, and he can keep Nightbat in there for enough damage, and Vulnerability comes out, and it should be enough to kill him with an extra skewer coming in the slow from Nightbat.
Nightbat misses attack,
but
pick it. Yeah, I think Game Slave meant to attack, but he accidentally right-clicked back a little bit too soon, and he canceled his animation, but Child picked the kill for him anyway. Rathaden's back in action with a Star Sapphire, and you know, as much as Star Sapphire was being kind of shut down a bit by Catwoman early, look at this, using the ultimate, going after Child.
That's a really good ultimate coming out. Oof. And it's enough for him. He could just have the Predator tank the turret and then...
Oh, yeah, the turret's pretty much done. I'm surprised Chow's still staying around there. Predator can, you know, cross distances very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, I actually like this rotation. I really love. I think Batman is a great person to pair up against the Catwoman because Catwoman loves to pick you from the edges, and Batman has the gap closer with the shortest cooldown in the game, I think, except for maybe Flash, one of those two.
The double kill. The bleed actually came out before the turret hit Batman, and that is the lover's quarrel right there. Yeah. Romeo and Juliet.
This is what happens. This is why you don't argue with your girlfriends or your spouses. You just end up both unhappy. That's all that happens. But you know what? That actually benefited Batman because he actually got a lot more. He got 640 credits for that kill, whereas Catwoman got 400, and that was just due to the difference in, I think, levels and kill streaks.
Yeah, and the shutdown, you know, from having someone who's 4-0 makes it more worth it.
And you know, that's a great thing about this game is that, you know, it is easy to say, oh, KGB is ahead in credits. Their champions are stronger right now. That's an objective fact. Their champions are stronger because they have more items. How do you come back? Like, do you just hope they screw up? Well, the answer is I mean, yes, they're winning, so you have to outplay them to come back. But it's possible, and in part because if you make great moves, like we saw Batman just do, you actually get more credits per kill. So it is possible to come back. Now, it's not the universal equalizer, but it does make a difference.
Yeah, it's not impossible to come back from these. You just need to shut down the right people, and they need to make sure in team fights they pick the priority targets.
Looks like Zatanna could you bit up more than she can chew. I don't know if she should have put that camera there. That was risky, but she does get out of there. Whew.
She thought that her dash would be enough to save her, and the bat scream just misses her as well.
We're gonna take a tail look at that.
Good chunk of health.
I love that scream. All right, enough listening to bat screaming. But you know, the audio is amazing in this game. Every chance I get, I take a look and listen to this. Cypher, what are you doing? You know, this is the one thing I am concerned about our King Green Lantern. Is you talk about other people like Atomic Poison Ivy. If she sees someone, she can kind of root them and run away. Our King Green Lantern actually really feels like a champion. He's such a great controller, but on his own, he really kind of is a bit lackluster if he's just there. There's no teammates, nothing to help him.
Yeah, I mean he's missing something essentially when
he's on his own.
Have someone around. Yep.
Yeah, he's almost the ultimate team play champion. Oh, sorry, I missed that. Star Sapphire. Roots came up and just absolutely crushed her, although it probably was a lot of skewers as well coming from Zatanna there. She keeps throwing cards at people. Those drones don't like that.
Well, we got a fight in the bot lane going on, and they're just trading damage out. Joker should out Green Arrow, especially since he's getting low on will, if he can just bait out his attacks a bit more.
He is down a couple, or only a single level now. And you know what? You're right. Like, this makes sense. When you're behind in credits and the lanes aren't working, I love the rotations they've done.
Yep.
Because marksman on marksman, it's hard. It's almost impossible to take on a marksman who's more fed than you are, who has more credits, better items. Because you're both just relying on basic attacks, and every time you come in, they'll hit you back and they'll hit you harder. So I love moving the Joker to the bottom lane, because what he can do is he can play around Green Arrow and avoid getting hit just by picking at him with Mr. Punchy, giving him presents. Oh, no, Joker, don't get that close to the marksman. Oh, no, he gets rooted and Green Arrow's on his case.
He doesn't have his Vanish in the...
Oh, actually, Star Sapphire zones Joker out.
Oh, Drew catches him out, and he should be able to get out, but it's not the same case for Jokas.
All right, if he keeps running here, he will run into a turret. Oh, he's charging up his ultimate, lands it on St. Rev.
Oh, is the super foam enough? He should have a dive. Oh, he does have a tumble, and I think he might be able to get out. He'll have another ultimate with super foam. Oh, the bat scream comes out, and Jokas gets taken down.
That would have been too unbelievable if he escaped that. That would have been like, you know what he did there? A brilliant move when he went into the stealth pad to charge his ultimate, because when Green Arrow charges his ultimate, he loses movement speed.
Right.
So he went in there to charge it, and then they didn't have vision, so they had to... Basically, they couldn't attack him for a couple seconds, so he got the charge off free. He used that to slow St. Rev, and it was...
And he got that bonus move speed. While he was charging, he tumbled, and then shot it off right away, so he could get that bonus.
Oh, Cypher could be in trouble here. His teammates, he's really away from his teammates. He's going to run through the gauntlet, take a bunch of damage, but you run through a gauntlet, you can get punished, and that's what happens. And there's little bits of him on the ground now. He's kind of unhappy. Yeah, he's actually, no, his body's still intact. His armor's kind of falling everywhere. Ooh, Catwoman almost got taken out by Gasbat.
St. Rev has got some serious damage now. With the Nightbat ultimate, they can probably do some poking onto them with some safety.
You know, one other thing interesting is, you notice that St. Rev went straight for velocity implants after Soul Taker's Katana. Now, Soul Taker's Katana is usually the go-to marksman, like, not your very starting item that's like nil up or whatever, but your next item you build, because once you get to level 3, it starts stacking credits, and if you have it stacked, it's the most efficient damage lifesteal item there is. But after that, a lot of people go for Kodo Blade or Joe's Chills, something that adds more straight damage. Going for the velocity implants, I think, was a decision St. Rev made when he realizes they were losing. And he can't go damage for damage anyway, so why not go for mobility with the velocity implants?
Yeah, and it looks like he's got the mod on his too as well, so that's going to help him out.
Extra move speed, right?
A little bit late game,
Or maybe it's the discounted price.
He's going to get caught out. Fresh Snow is going to get taken down. Arcane Green Lantern coming down into Adby here. And I don't think it's going to be enough. The Bat Scream goes down, but misses a lot of people. And Zatanna's going to be able to get out here with a dash. And Druga's just keeping them interested for everyone else to come in. And here comes Green Arrow popping his ultimate with armor penetration. They're just going to tumble right in there and pick off the rest of them.
You know, I think Aware Academy had some opportunities there, but Star Sapphire missed using her ultimate in the middle to get the root effect. She kind of used it on top of her own champion, missed the roots, and there was just too much damage from KGB. It was an annihilation. 5-on-0 charging in here. They're going to capitalize. A second EMP. They've saved up the whole game for these two things. And this is how you capitalize on an advantage. Save those EMPs, win a team fight, and now they're just pushing in.
The last EMP was actually a double EMP drop, and then this one was just a single EMP drop. And to see the second one come out, I was a little bit surprised. So they must have been saving it for a long time. And you really want to save it for those teamfight moments. You don't want to just always use it to secure those kills.
Yeah, and it makes sense, because it basically have to have the foresight to know, you know, are we going to win this fight? And if so, what do we need to capitalize on it? And it's actually really cool. And
they're gonna do it again.
Yeah, they are. They're gonna grab all the EMPs. You know, a really cool thing is that people talk about is They're gonna go for this. Is
sneaking
huge
this
bold.
out.
Holy!
We're seeing the pings from KGB
because
right
they can
now.
see it because they have the vision.
They have just enough vision to see probably Star Sapphire or Joker.
They can't even beat the Leviathan.
No,
they're
trying to do it, but it's just too much damage going on to them.
Yeah, there's only a couple of them, and they're low enough level, not enough credits to have to retreat in.
These are the kind of things though that you want to try and do to get ahead.
To make a comeback.
Yeah, and it was the right choice. Unfortunately, the other team already had vision, and KGB knows how to pick them out. So Nightbat comes in with Feral Embrace, and Atomic Poison Ivy is probably going to use her wall to slow everyone down. Joker with a really good baby ultimate there to do some serious AoE damage. They don't have the EMPs yet. It's enough to pick up Atomic Poison Ivy.
This guy right here.
Yeah.
That guy carried that fight for Wear Academy. Yes, they lost 3 for 2, but they were in a situation where it could have been a total annihilation for Zero, and he really made it come around. Though Fresh Snow.
I don't think he was expecting to get blown up so quickly.
You know, I think Batman can't stop going after Catwoman. There's something in that
love,
attraction
man.
there. Yeah.
It's love.
He's like, Catwoman, come here. And then she brought her friends and just beat the crap out of him. And he's like, I'll get you next time. And she's like, no, you won't.
Not next time, because she's got the wings now.
That's true. That's true. Even if he gets her, she'll come right back.
Yeah.
I love the wings on champions. I like how somehow they've made it look good on every champion. It's like, even like Mecha Superman looks good with wings. He's like a giant, bulky robot. And then you make it look good on him, and it looks good on Catwoman, you know, a very graceful, feminine type character.
It's funny to see the wings on a champion like Nightmare Batman because he already has wings.
Yes.
So he's got like a double set of wings going on.
He should be able to take off and really fly then, right? He doesn't have the right item. Of course, the visual blue wings is an effect you get from the item Raj Al Ghul's robe. And we can see, if we scroll over that here, if I can find it right, here we go.
Yeah, and Raj Al Ghul's gives you that Lazarus effect, which is the revive, and you know, if you don't get taken out within that time, you come back with a certain amount of health and will.
It has a 5-minute cooldown though, so it's fairly limited use there. We just saw another ultimate from GameSafe taking on Advi. I think that was revenge, because Advi really rocked the KGB roster with that ultimate in the last engagement. Now they're like, we're going to take you out first. Now you're not there. We're going to grab the Leviathan. If they push now, they might be to get there before Advi is able to... No, he's going to come back by the time they can really engage.
Yeah, that was a great pick off, though. It was probably more beneficial for St. Rev to stay in that bot lane and take out the extra turret to give them credits.
I think he was scared.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to take the chance always, but
maybe you do.
You kind of do when you're in those situations where you're a little further behind.
Yeah, if you're down 20k credits, you better... I mean, risks are good, right? You need something to get you back in the game, and right now, going back to base and going for another team fight.
Yep.
I mean, they're not going to win a team fight.
This is actually a good fight. This is a good fight for them because Zatanna doesn't have teleport, and she's in base, and she's going to the bot lane right now. So if they can initiate onto this,
and they have a turn here
Embrace
too.
Is down for Nightmare Batman. Fresh Snow he should go in. Joker has his ultimate up as well. This is the fight they want. They don't know where Zatanna is. They can just pick out Green Arrow before GameSlave has his ultimate, Feral Embrace. The EMP coming up. This is a boosted one, remember. It's extra time coming out. Oh, no.
There goes the stasis.
I don't think this was the right choice for KGB. They need to regroup, and Bat Scream coming out onto multiple targets here. Feral Embrace is up right now.
But you know, where Cat is just kind of a route. I think they were too scared there almost. They maybe needed to make their stand, but they were just fighting backwards the whole time. The Leviathan drops gave KGB the time they needed to take out the turret and continue pursuing. And now KGB realizes they were in danger of seriously overextending, so might as well retreat, regroup. And I mean, they got a turret. Zatanna made some good progress here at the bot lane. Actually, this turret may die, but she's going to be a bit safe and just pick on some drones that don't really move around or fight back too much.
Yeah, Gaspat ended up teleporting down there just to try and save the turret because they knew that the top was a lost cause in that fight. I think if they really hard engaged there, they don't know when Nightbat's ultimate is up, but if they took the chance, that was the right chance to take because they saw Zatanna in the bot lane because they had vision from their enemy drones, from their ally drones, excuse me, and that was just the right moment to go in.
It's like Zatanna cycle back up mid. She has that speed drop. She can deploy that at a great range anywhere she wants. Of course, it does a little bit of damage and it drops down, but it's more for the speed boost whoever runs over the location. They're kind of, you know, this is one of the things I see a lot when a team is significantly ahead, like KGB is. They like to spread out, because if you get in a team fight and your opponents just time all their skills right, and you kind of make a mistake, you get a bad engagement, you might still lose. It's still often good, but if you're confident that all your champions are mobile enough that they won't get picked off, like you have Catwoman, she's very mobile. Tom Poison Ivy, in a way, can almost be considered mobile because she can slow pursuers chasing her.
Right, she has the speed boost too. She follows up with the
enemies
in the Feral Embrace coming out into Saint Rev, and Pseudo just has way too much damage to press them down. They should be able to get out of this. Freshno is not going to be able to do enough, and we can see Drew coming in the back. So Cypher probably should use Deny Black to get out of here as quickly as possible. It is enough, and he has the Construct Champion to dash to as well.
Oh, but Atomic Poison Ivy, they're back to a turret. No slow is going to work. Meanwhile, though, at the top lane, I mean, KGB is making things work on pretty much every front now. They're ahead. They have almost twice the credits now. They're playing very solid, running right past the turret. Game Save takes it out. Catwoman's right on Cypher's tail, gonna finish him off. And Star Sapphire's. Oh, there's the Gal Joker. I was gonna say all that's left, but they still have Advi here doing what he can. Although, I mean, once this dampener is down, Advi is gonna have to retreat back to the power core turrets. And I think we saw in the past couple of games, when there's 3 dampeners down, the game usually doesn't go on for too much longer.
Yeah, I mean, they should be able to get this bottom dampener, and if KGB stays in the top dampener a little bit too long, Saint Rev is going to be able to pick up the double kill. So they need to back off there, and we can see the drones took the middle dampener by themselves, so it's going to be enough to get Super Drones back in again and get these power core turrets down.
Oh, yep. Green Arrow flips back up to top, takes that out. Droog is kind of zoning out the rest of the team. The bottom dampener goes down. Wrath is in. Oh, Star Sapphire has a hard time getting away. Tried to do what she could. There goes the ultimate with the root. Here comes Cypher with some more stuns. That's enough to make Rathazen maybe escape. Maybe.
Oh, Cypher doing such a good job as a controller to just keep them at bay.
Yeah, my heart was.
But
crazy there.
The turrets are just going down way too quickly, and we're going to see the Super Drills. Oh, this is going to be a sick fight.
Yeah, as soon as the Mr. Punchy miss, I'm like, you're in trouble, Joker. And you can see Green Arrow just starts flipping around, shooting from the hip. Literally, that's what he does when he flips, just for style points. And now he's coming in to go in on his turret. There goes the EMP drop.
This is an EMP, so they should be able to get both power core turrets. And St. Rev getting the kill on API. Is it enough to get the kill on Pseudo? It is not. They're making the wrong choice. Oh, the Mr. Punchy coming out. And Lazarus effect is procced. Joker just needs to get out of there and go help the team, and Cypher's not going to be able to pick up the kill. He doesn't have enough damage, and they just need to get onto Joker's as quickly as possible.
Now, they're going to save their power core turret for now. A great ultimate. They have to use ultimates to deal with the Jokers. Oh, Jokers goes down. Or Joker goes down, excuse me. 2 Jokers.
Jokers versus Joker.
St. Rev is getting beat on by the drones. He can't even use his basic attack because the drones will kill him. Oh, man.
No, this is just too much damage from Jokers, and he's just cutting it out.
Oh, he's going straight for the power core turret now.
Yeah, that was a perfect choice. That was a well-fought battle.
Yeah. I mean, that was almost picture perfect from start to finish from KGB, and you know, we've seen a good amount of fairly one-sided matches for these quarterfinals, but what we're gonna have in the semifinals is every single team